maybe I'll start talking like Gru in the bedroom. Hello, baby.
How would that be different to all the other characters that you do?
Come to daddy.
Stop.
Welcome to another episode of Underage Grandparents. I'm Matty Acton, and this is my beautiful wife, Esther Acton. We became grandparents before turning 40, and this podcast is all about the craziness of that while still raising children and trying to stay married. We guarantee by watching or listening to this, you'll feel normal. This week, we had the privilege of babysitting our 7-month-old granddaughter.
Yes.
Which... do you reckon we're in a honeymoon stage where, because she's so new, we love it?
I think we'll always love it.
Yeah.
We're in that sweet spot where she's like so cute at the moment. Like, you know, when they're still a baby, but they're very expressive and they're like eating food and they can sit up. She's got teeth. She's starting to crawl a bit. Yeah. And they're just so chunky and like, yeah. So we just love it. We've had her 2 Friday nights in a row.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because, you know, grandparents, people always talk about it's the best being a grandparent because you do all the best parts and you get to have all the fun and stuff. And I know my mum can be more apprehensive to babysitting these days that the kids are a bit older. So I wonder if it changes. Like, do they get more annoying and you don't want them as much when they're older?
I feel like our house always has kids in it though.
Yeah,
like Evie always
so.
is having a sleepover. Xander has his mates over all the time. Like, I don't find them more annoying at any stage. Probably the toddler stage is the most challenging, where they're like constantly trying to kill themselves with like knocking glass off and putting their fingers in sockets and stuff.
If you're new to the podcast, our eldest son is 23. He's married, has a 7-month-old. Talk to God if he had a 7-year-old, bloody hell. Do you think it's because we are young?
Yeah.
That's why it's not a struggle. We're still got little kids as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think you have more energy. Yeah. Like, we're used to being tired. And it's just like throw another one in the pile. Do you know what I mean? Like, and because we don't do it all the time.
That's true.
We enjoy it. Like, I enjoy changing her nappy and giving her a bath and everything. But if you're doing that day in, day out, your routine becomes monotonous and you don't enjoy those moments. Yeah. Even though, like, they should be enjoyable. Like, giving them a bath and everything is quite fun.
It's harder too, though, I guess, when you're 66.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why we're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
Because we were not doing it that long ago.
Yeah, but getting down on your knees and like a kid in the bath and
It did make me think. I've had my balls cut off, so it can never happen. I had the vasectomy. And for any guy who's considering one, they're actually a lot easier than you think they're going to be. And I know I'm excuse me, I'm choking on my words. I know guys are going to hate me for saying that, but they're not that hard to get.
No.
I got mine done and drove myself home, went through the KFC drive-through, got a Zinger box and then came home and watched a movie.
As long as you don't try and napalm the area with Nair or something beforehand.
Yeah.
Which a friend of ours did.
Just a little shave is fine. I didn't realise you couldn't use Nair on your private part.
No. Well, I mean, I've never thought about it.
It's just for legs, right?
I think like any other place except for that sensitive area.
Because if like it's made his whole...
It kind of eats the hair off though.
Yeah.
So like,
his whole scrotum swelled. So I imagine if a girl used it in her area, it would do the same.
It would be bad. Yeah. You definitely.
Anyway. Yeah, that's the best. Actually, we should tell that story one day. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll tell it now. So a friend of ours went to get his vasectomy. He wanted to clean up, and so he used Nair on it.
He went to Manscaped.
And didn't realise that it was not good for that area. When he went to get the vasectomy, it was burning so badly. And you know something's bad when the doctor says, give me a look. And then when they look, they go, God!
And didn't he have to catch the train or something with it?
No, when he took his sample to get tested, he had to take that on the train. Right. But what if I hadn't have had a vasectomy? Well, and I said to you right now, I was like, I really want to have another baby.
Even that sentence coming out your mouth makes my stomach involuntarily drop. Like, of course I would want to make you happy and give you what you want, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't have another baby at this stage of my life.
Physically, you could.
Physically, I could, but mentally, no. It would just, that would just be. Actually, have you had it tested lately?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I had it tested after my vasectomy and I was all good, but I haven't had it double checked.
Just the thought of it, like I'm starting to feel like nauseous at the thought of it because I love babies. Like I was going to say, having a baby around is awesome. Like the kids love it. We barely entertained her. At one point I forgot she was even in the house because she was sitting down on the mat.
Probably don't say that to her parents.
Well, she was sitting down on the mat getting like completely loved all over by the children. So I wasn't like properly supervising. But no, I couldn't do it. Do you know what it is? I'm going to sound like that woman off, what's it called? Where she goes, I just feel like at this age, I'm not meant to live a difficult life.
I have no idea what show you're talking about. Schitt's Creek?
No, it's the one with the hotels where someone dies.
Was the one with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston?
No, darling, they're comedy. Oh, yeah, that's a good movie actually. No, White Lotus.
Oh, I haven't watched a single episode of that show in my entire life.
Well, this woman, it was in the most recent one. There's heaps of memes about that. Right. But I think as you get older, you just there's difficulty from when your youth that you're just not comfortable doing anymore.
So you had Ethan when you were 18. So you've been a mum since you were 18 years old.
Yes.
I met you when I was 18.
Yes. You've been a dad since you were 18.
Yeah.
Essentially. Because you were.
But he was 3, so we jumped in.
Yeah.
I jumped in at the toddler stage. We had 2 of our own who are now 8 and 11. So we're kind of going over the other side.
100%.
But I wonder if that would be hard. It'd be more women who would have that realization that if they wanted maybe one more, not as much men, because we're a bit more selfish.
100%. I think that.
But how do you? Men are. We are way more selfish. But how do you navigate that if you're in a relationship where someone wants another baby and the other person doesn't?
Well, our friends are going through it. Well, kind of going through it. I don't know how serious she is that she wants another baby, but I think you have to compromise. Like, you got to do what's best for the marriage because bringing a child into an unhappy situation is no one's going to win from that. So I think, you have to make the choice for, together. So
you're saying no. If I asked you, you're like, no?
No. You can have it with your second family, okay? When we get divorced.
Not having a second family.
And you marry some 20-year-old, she'll give you some kids, okay? But I'm not at that stage of my life.
Honey, when we get divorced, we've had this conversation. So all I need is a TV, a microwave, and a milk crate. That is not going to attract any woman.
That's what you think. Men get better with age. It's really horrible phenomenon that we have to deal with as women.
If you came to me, maybe because I know you wouldn't, and said, I really want another baby.
Oh, you would totally do it.
I would say yes.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm saying that I would say no, but I would say no and then I would say yes because I ultimately want to make you happy.
Yeah.
You would just have to look after the thing though because, I'm busy and stuff.
The thing? The child?
Your kid, that would be your kid.
Well, see, I guess because your career's taken off a lot now too.
Yeah.
So you're very career driven now. That the kids have grown.
I'm at a point now where I can't just take 6 or 9 months off. That's just not even a reality because, business owners now. So that's, not
Are you saying if we had another baby, I could quit work?
Sure.
We're going to get pregnant today. And I need to go and get my tube fused back together, by the way. So I'm shooting blanks.
You would also have to do everything around the house. It's not just the getting up in the night,
How hard can it be? Looking for hate comments here. All right. No baby for us. No baby. Don't stress.
No baby. No baby. But talking about men getting better with age, which is just cruel. Been in the news heaps this week is the Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee.
Oh,
finesse.
I don't know why, but I have been so into this.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I think I've probably changed my thoughts a bit because I thought there's no way that Hugh Jackman would cheat, okay? And the girl that he's with now, she's from my favorite TV show of all time. Younger. Yeah. Yeah. If I could.
What's her name? Sutton something. Sutton something. She's one of those actors.
Eliza is her name in
Younger.
In Younger.
You know their face and you're like, I know you, but I don't know.
Sutton Dutton? I don't know.
Sutton Dutton. Sutton Dutton.
I don't know. Anyway, she's I don't want that show to be ruined for me. But also, Hugh Jackman's just such a nice guy. And I'll read you the statement.
Yeah, but nice guys can cheat.
I know.
This has all come about because Deborah Lee, his now ex-wife, that they just finalised their divorce this week.
No, she just filed for divorce.
I thought they finalised it.
No, she just filed for divorce. So they haven't been, they've been separated to this point.
Right.
And now she's filed for divorce. And this is her statement. My heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal, she said. It's a profound wound that cuts deep. However, I believe in a higher power and that God/the universe, whatever you relate to as your guidance, is always working for us. This belief helped me to navigate the breakdown of an almost 3-decade marriage. I have gained so much knowledge and wisdom through the experience, even when we are presented with apparent adversity. It is leading us to our greatest good, our true purpose. It can hurt, but in the long run, returning to yourself and living within your own integrity, values, and boundaries is liberation and freedom. Now, she's obviously a very intelligent woman and emotionally intelligent woman.
She is.
She's taken 2 years to say anything, but
you can be assured though that she's she's written that text.
She's been thinking about
it. Then deleted it. No, I'm not going to tweet that. No. And then she's written it again and go, don't do it. I'll put it in drafts.
But even trying to come up with the word, because I think she says, traverse the traumatic journey of betrayal. Saying someone has betrayed you is pretty, it's strong words.
Sutton Foster is the girlfriend's full name, by the way.
Sutton Foster, yeah.
So that's the thing. People saw betrayed and they went, oh, he cheated. So do you think he didn't necessarily cheat? Maybe it's just that he fell in love with someone else and that's the betrayal part?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know.
No one does.
This is the hard thing, right? When people break up, there's no winner and there's probably no bad person or good person. But to say that he betrayed her kind of makes out that the marriage didn't break down. He ended it.
Yeah.
And so it puts but how can you be angry at Hugh Jackman? He is just, everyone says he's the nicest guy.
He is.
In the world.
Not name dropping, but I'm going to.
I was going to say. Yeah.
I have interviewed him before.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. Very giving. I've been lucky to interview a lot of people and they've been jerks, but he's one of those ones who's genuinely wants to be there. I've also interviewed her. She does a lot of stuff for adoption in Australia.
She does, yeah.
Beautiful woman advocate, as well.
Yeah.
The thing I see out of this, though, if you've been married for 30 years, you've got to pick a side because you would have so many friends over those years, right? Family friends, school friends, parents from school, all that sort of stuff. What do you do as the person who's outside the divorce?
Yeah.
They're always, if you're on holiday with Hugh, you're going to be questioned.
Well, we watched that show last weekend. What was it called?
4 Seasons.
4 Seasons, yeah, which is awesome.
Steve Carell's in it.
Yeah, I love Steve Carell.
And he leaves his wife.
I mean, he is a perfect example. He is hot as an older man.
Steve Carell?
Oh, my God. He is hot as an older man.
Gru?
Yes. Yes. I really like that other show that he's in and he plays a complete jerk in the Me Too movement and actually dies as well.
Yeah, it was about the breakfast
Morning
TV.
Wars.
Yeah.
Awesome TV show. But I watched that and I went, I forgot it was Steve Carell.
What's hot about him now?
His grey hair, his glasses, his just his whole, like, I mean, go back to the Office days, not hot, nothing hot about the man. But he played a character that was meant to be repulsive.
Yeah.
And now he's played a few characters where he's like an older philanderer or whatever. And he's stepped into it. He looks...
Maybe I'll start talking like Gru in the bedroom. Hello, baby.
How would that be different to all the other characters that you do?
Come to daddy.
Stop. I'll be a minion then. Banana.
I'm telling you, I don't care what you do. As long as you're there and you're interested.
Oh, I have to be interested? I thought
no, you don't even have to be
exactly.
interested.
I'm like, gee, that's a high bar. I'm
as
just
long as you're there and I'm allowed to participate. That's interesting that you find Steve Carell hot.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
because I can get grey hair and wear glasses. That's easy.
You probably will.
What do you reckon though on the picking sides thing? What we've got someone in particular that I always think about. So your best friend,
yes,
is my closest cousin.
Yes.
So
you guys were actually close.
We're 1 year apart.
Yeah,
and we pretty much grew up together. So all of our school holidays were spent together. We went on holidays everywhere.
Yeah.
We used to talk a lot on the phone.
Yeah.
Because we were so close in age.
Yeah. And I stole her from you.
Yeah. We used to underage drink together, like all that sort of stuff. So she's now your best friend.
Yeah.
Since we moved back to Brisbane.
Yeah.
What would happen, do you think, if we got divorced? What side do you think she would pick? I reckon she'd pick your side.
No, I think she would pick yours, and I've said this before.
I think that she would say she would pick my side.
That's what I'm saying. I think she would say...
And then bitch me out behind my back.
No, her and I would agree what she should say. And then,
you've already scripted it.
No,
You've worked it out between the two of you.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to ring her. I am going to ring her and put it on her now. And ask her. So
do you know what we should do? We should both send her a text saying, call me. And then, have you seen this on the internet? And then whoever she calls first is the winner. But no, we won't do that.
We should try that one time, actually.
We should, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ring her now. And I'm going to ask her this very question.
I've seen siblings do it. Like they call.
Oh, they call their parent? Oh, yeah.
She might not answer you. I should have rung.
Hello.
Hello, cousin.
Hello.
Hi.
You're on the podcast, by the way.
Oh, hi.
We have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
Well, he has a question for you. I would never ask something like this.
We're just working out our divorce. So, you know how we like to prepare.
Yes.
If we divorce and you had to pick a side, what side are you picking?
Well, wait. How messy is it?
Well, yeah, it also depends on like the circumstances, like what's happening. Is it mutual?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did she cheat?
Oh, okay. So if one of us cheated, you would...
Should have to be on the other person's side. So that's definitely going to be you.
What if I cheated, but it was because Esther was really mean to me?
Ooh.
And it was just me looking for love somewhere else. That I was desperately chasing affection from someone because my wife wasn't interested.
Oh my gosh. Honestly. That would never happen. So I can't even have this I can't even make a decision. But let me just say one thing. I can't pick a side because I can't actually imagine life without you guys being together.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either, really.
It would suck. So she's
like,
saying she'd dump us both. Because she'd be like, nah, it's only better as a couple.
Too hard. Too much drama.
Cut us both loose.
Yeah.
I think it's not the answer you wanted. I know it wasn't the answer you wanted. I think we know
the answer, but the person who's asking the question...
All right, I'll leave the room and then you can answer it, honestly.
So we tell everyone, Kyla, that you've picked him.
Yeah.
But then you and I just secretly hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would also get messy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
But would you bitch me out?
Totally.
No,
all the time.
Never.
I do now.
Oh, no, I know you do. I know. Oh, you don't think I know?
No,
that?
I don't.
When you two we're going for a walk for our fitness in the afternoon. I'm like, as if that is just strolling and complaining about husbands.
It is not.
It's not just husbands.
No, it's everything.
Yes.
So you do complain about...
We can also complain about our children, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Work.
All right. So you have to, gun to your head.
I can't, cousin. It's too much.
I think I would have to do something really bad for Kyla to cut me off. Like, I would have to cheat on you and leave you for another man and leave my kids behind. And then I think she would be like, I have to be on that side.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But I also know that would never happen because if there was any issues there, she would talk to me about it beforehand.
Did you hear what you said then? You would have to cheat on me and abandon your entire family.
Yes.
And then she wouldn't choose your side. That is a lot. That is a lot of destruction.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Which just proves you would pick her side. If she has to abandon her children in order for you to pick my side, then I think we know the answer.
She would never cut you off though, Dal. Your family.
Oh, she speaks to me at family events every so often when it's grandma's birthday. All right, love you, cousin. I also
didn't answer the question, did I?
No, you did. No, you did. You answered it.
He reckons he has an answer.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
You too. Bye. Bye. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that was the answer I knew. I shouldn't be surprised by that, should I? Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Well, I have told you that before.
What? Not to ask questions you want to know the answer to? Yeah, that's a good
all
point.
The time. I'm like, when you say, how much did that cost? And I say, none your business.
Oh, yeah. Everything just seems to always be on sale somehow as well. Yeah.
Or secondhand.
Hey, we love you guys being a part of the podcast, by the way, and you can do that by jumping on our socials. We've got Instagram and TikTok, Underage Grandparents. Plus, we do have a closed group just for our listeners of the show. So you go to Underage Grandparents on Facebook. You can jump in there and then you can be part of the show. Something we've put up this week.
And you don't have to be an underage grandparent to be, or a grandparent to be part of the group.
No, of course
because
not.
I'm like, I don't know that I would join a group on Facebook called Underage Grandparents if I wasn't a grandparent, because I'd be like...
That's a good point.
It's like joining the Paddington local page, like, do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm a fan of heaps of the community pages around Brisbane.
Only the ones we live near.
No,
are you kidding?
North side of Brisbane is full of drama.
Yeah, I know,
full of drama.
I don't need that in my life. There is enough drama in our suburb.
The best place. Forget TV, forget Netflix. If you want to see some real drama, you don't need Married at First Sight. You need to watch the fights in the comment sections of community pages on Facebook pages. Jump in there anyway. That's just the name of the podcast. Maybe we'll change the name of it eventually. But we've put up there Midnight Memories this week. And we want you guys to go and add yours because
we want to talk about them.
They're awful.
Yes. So I have a friend that kind of gave us this idea. She was telling me how so we were talking about rooftop bars, and she said, I actually got my heart ripped out on a rooftop bar. I thought I was going there to be proposed to, and instead I got dumped on New Year's. So my friend Katrina, let's call her Kat.
A rooftop bar is not a good place to have a broken heart.
No. So I think she said it was New Year's, and they'd booked this thing. Yeah. They had been talking about children, dating for quite some time, and she's thinking, it's the proposal. It's happening. And then on the roof, he breaks up with her and says to her, I'm just not ready to settle down. I'm not ready for, this level of commitment, and I just want to go find myself, basically. 5 months later, he's engaged to someone else.
Oh, so was there a bit of crossover?
I don't know, but I think my friend was obviously completely destroyed by this, right? You think your life is on this trajectory and it's actually on this trajectory, and so her heart's being
and he swaps you out from someone else,
completely ripped out. So she's my phone's oh my God, Xander is calling us from inside the house because he wants to go for a bike ride. I'm gonna kill him.
We're keeping all this in the podcast.
Xander, did I tell you that we were recording a podcast, darling?
We'll be done in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
He just hangs up. So we've got our podcast studio down the back of our yard.
Yes.
And we say, don't come out there So
how else was I gonna? Oh my god. So anyway,
Xander's our 11-year-old, by the way.
The moment that is the haunting moment.
Yeah.
Is she was crying and like very emotional the day that he got engaged because it was all over Facebook.
Yeah.
And she was showing someone that this girl that he got engaged to started popping up immediately as a suggested friend on Facebook, like her picture and her thing. And she was like, look at that. Oh my God. Like she keeps coming up as a suggested friend. And when she went to hit remove, she hit add. So she accidentally added the fiance of her ex who would like
So that keeps her up at night? That's the thing in her mind that keeps her up at night?
Yes, because like...
But you can just undo that instantly.
No, you couldn't back then. Couldn't. Once your finger hit the add button, the request was there for them to know that, like, not only do they know you're stalking them, because
they know. She's a woman. She'd do the same thing.
But imagine that. The day we get engaged, I'm like, your ex just added me on Facebook.
That is a bit weird.
Yes. See?
But I could get past that.
No, but like I'm just saying, in the middle of the night, you wake up and then you go to lay down, you close your eyes, and then you immediately open your eyes because you remember something absolutely terrible that you did.
Yeah,
not
the midnight
terrible,
memories. Yeah.
Terribly embarrassing.
I don't know whether you think this one's worse or not. So when I was doing nighttime radio in Sydney, we used to do our show backstage at The Voice when The Voice first launched. And we used to interview all the contestants that were going on the TV that night, and then we'd play them back on the radio.
Yeah.
There was a girl called Rachel Leaker, I believe her name was.
God, remembering her first and last name, that's very, very strange of you. This must be embarrassing.
So she was a young girl. All the nation was talking about her. She, tugged at the heartstrings. And if I remember correctly, Delta Goodrum was her coach. Mm-hmm. And so everyone was talking about this girl. We had an interview with her and she came out and they introduced her. Mm-hmm. And what do you do when you're being friendly and you get introduced to someone?
Put your hand out.
To shake their hand.
Yes.
She was blind. I know. I knew that she was vision impaired, but...
It says you can't be that embarrassed about that.
It was a complete reaction. Like, just I didn't even think about it. I was like,
no,
this young girl. I put my hand out.
Try and hug her, like.
Well, but the thing is I put my hand out.
Yeah.
And it took me a second to realize. And then when I realized, I scanned around and there was like all these people there from the TV show and like her parents and stuff, and everyone was just staring at the palm of my hand.
Dull.
And I'm like, what do I do? So I like just left it there. And then I thought, do I grab her hand and put it in my hand and then shake it?
Oh, dull.
And then I didn't.
What is the etiquette?
And I was so stunned by the whole thing.
That you just left your hand there?
That because I left my hand there, someone pushed my hand down and said, Matt, she's blind. And I went, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I had to pretend that I didn't know that she was vision impaired.
Oh, dull.
Even though, of course, I knew that. That was the reason why the whole nation was in love with her, because she was this young girl who'd gone through all this adversity to get to this point. She was immensely talented. It was humiliating.
Oh, dull. Are you okay? You're obviously over it.
No, that's when I remember it.
In the middle. Is that when you remember it? In the middle of the night?
You always remember the worst things in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you got anything?
Just Facebook statuses mainly.
Oh, what did you write?
I don't know if you even know this. I don't want to tell you because I wake up in the night and think that someone's going to find it someday.
I don't know if you can delete them or not.
I don't know.
Well, you may as well tell us now.
I went and watched Twilight and then I wrote, just went and watched Twilight and I so badly want to be bitten. And I think about it. All the time.
That's not that. I mean, that's lame as hell. That is so lame ass.
And the other things are like I've written people emails that were about them, like sent them to the wrong person.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
That's happened once.
Yeah. Remember that time you broke up with me on Facebook, but you didn't tell me that you broke up with me? And
I'm pretty sure it's because I couldn't get in contact with you, doll.
Yeah, I was passed
You were
out.
having a bender. You had a bender.
I wouldn't have a bender.
You did have a bender.
It was a night out.
Yeah, well.
I had a night out. And then I got to work.
This is when I was living in Brisbane and you were living on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Working. I'm pretty sure. This is when?
Yeah.
And yeah, for some reason I couldn't get in contact with you.
No, we'd had a fight on the phone.
We'd had a fight
Yeah.
and then you weren't taking my calls.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. That's how I remember it, whether that was how it happened.
Yeah, I can't really remember either. But I just remember being like, oh, well, you don't want to talk to me. I think that says we're over.
So you changed from in a relationship on Facebook to single.
Yeah.
And then I got to work the next day and everyone was like, you all right, man? I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? Like, oh, yeah. And then it took like half the day. Everyone was asking me if I was okay. And they're like, you and Esther broke up. I was like, what do you mean? They go, on Facebook. And then I had to call you. And
what do you mean?
then I called you and you're like, yeah, you're an asshole. We've broken up.
Yeah.
That was our long breakup. That was our last breakup, I think, was it?
Could have been.
Our last 6-week breakup.
Could be. Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think because we were just in that spot where like we just weren't aligning on stuff. Like you were working on the coast. I was working in Brisbane. You know, like I had Ethan and I was trying to navigate that, and you were partying a lot with the radio people that you were working with. And
so I wasn't partying that much. I just think the distance made it hard.
Yeah.
Our lives were different.
Yeah.
They were different.
Yeah.
But anyway, at least I didn't want to get bitten by Edward Cullen. How old were you when you wrote that?
Shut up.
You were in your 20s.
Probably.
Don't look at mine. Mine are worse.
Oh.
So lame.
Yours used to get hacked all the time.
Oh, all
with
the
people
time.
saying that you liked butt stuff or whatever.
Yeah, that was...
And I've pooped my pants and like that was just a thing.
I know. The other one people used to do is they'd change your birthday. Remember that?
No. So everyone would...
If you left your Facebook open at work, the idiots I worked with would go in, change your birthday to like the very next day. And so that day, everyone would be saying happy birthday to you on Facebook. And you're like, it's not my birthday. How does my family not know it's my actual birthday? But anyway, that's another episode, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, remember, follow our Instagram, our TikTok. We also want to hear your thoughts on the show. I want you guys to be part of it. So join the Underage Grandparents Facebook group. See you guys next week.
Bye-bye. Actually, that was a terrible wave. Bye-bye. Cut out my wave, please.
He won't. He won't.
Bye-bye.